Hello, and welcome to Sherlock Holmes Awakened. Now, I would like to say that there was a message when I loaded up this game, a lot of very big messages, very important messages. I am not sure I'm going to upload these videos. I might upload them on the side. I'm not sure if this game would make even good content, mainly because I've been doing a lot of games and they've been piling on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And I've just been jumping from game to game with no rhyme or reason, and I need to finish a lot of them. But college has been a bit intense, and I've just kind of been going at it from weirdness to weirdness. So, I'm going to record a let's play of this game, see if it's even worth uploading videos on. I might do it some from behind the scenes stuff for this. If not, then whatever. So for now, let us just without further ado, let's just get right into it. For starters, it said there's a massive seizure warning, so be very careful about that. Reason number two, it has a lot of prejudice, racial, and other stuff that was normal at the time, and rather than hide it, they would rather show it for what it was. It was wrong then, wrong now. That's basically me paraphrasing what they said. So this is a very big fair warning. Again, I'm not sure I'm going to upload this. If I do, and you hear this message, then likely I've uploaded it, and I've proven myself wrong. I love the Frogwares Sherlock Holmes games. I've played the original of this game, and I've also played Sherlock Holmes Jack the Ripper, which I really hope they redo as well, because I loved that game. Loved it. Other than that, I really hope this game is good. I was not a fan of the last Frogwares Sherlock Holmes game, but this game has gotten praise so far, and hopefully, because I know Frogwares, hopefully they learn from their mistakes. I've also played The Sinking City. That's the game that I love. This pipe is fake. Of course, as per usual, I like to dress up, so I'm going to dress up. Again, these are going to be some of my more longer Let's Plays, given the games like this, so again, I might upload these on the side, mostly. Again, let's just start. I can't say how much I love the Sherlock Holmes series. And again, my problem that I've had with this channel is it's supposed to be a mystery game oriented channel that I started with Strange Horticulture, which of course ended a bit badly. But hopefully you can branch out. And hopefully it's mystery and horror. That's what I'm going to do. There was another game that I really wanted to make. Oh yes, Ad Infinitum is coming out soon, and I really want to play that as well. Shadow over London. Really good start. Baker Street. Ooh, I'm loving this already. Frogwares, don't fail me. Dr. Watson. Ooh, I like the design.
Dr. Watson, would you kindly close the door behind you so that we can limit the price of your carelessness to merely hours of work rather than days?
My apologies, Mr. Holmes. I found myself rather taken aback. I saw tidier houses in war-torn Afghanistan. Are those my surgical needles?
I ran out of tacks and the matter required immediate attention.
Was that my supper?
Plainly not, for I was the one who ate it.
I set it aside for this evening.
And for that I am grateful.
Is that my bed?
Watson, since you've proven yourself a master of observation, might I ask you to apply your skills to a more pertinent question? Namely, the whereabouts of today's newspapers. They are the key to everything. The newsboy is usually reliable.
Medically speaking, I often find that the key to everything is good sleep. In a bed. Your papers are here, on the table.
Ooh, I'm excited.
The postman brought today.
Oh man, I wish they have Sherlock Holmes' old design back. I remember the one with like the really heavy slick back hair, like prominent widow's peak. Like the really prominent one. Kind of like similar to how Jeremy Brett looked, if any of you've seen that. I love this. I'm just going to upload this even no matter how bad the content is. diplomatic corpse as a result of the unexplained disappearance of Alright.
Local gossip, all of it uninteresting. Your order from Barnes' bookshop has arrived, Doctor.
Barnes bookshop.
Barnes insists on delivering the books to our door, even though we could easily walk to his shop. That's good service.
Good service.
Another letter from Werner. I never reply, but they keep coming.
Oh yeah, Werner Vogel. The guy from the last game.
I don't see the Strand. Where is it?
Pardon me?
I am on the precipice of uncovering a pattern of crime across London spanning many months and involving many men. The missing paper cannot be a coincidence.
That's preposterous.
My dear fellow, life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of man can invent.
I like
Well,
how
I
haggard
used your
Holmes looks.
newspaper to wipe its posterior, so after that unpleasant discovery this morning, I disposed of it. But in lieu of the Strand, perhaps I can deliver you something equally tantalizing. I have just returned from a patient of mine, Captain Stemwick, who...
No, that will not do. Grab your coat, Dr. Watson. Let us hope nobody has collected the dustbin.
The dustbin is yours for the digging, Mr. Holmes.
Any of you guys remember the creepy Watson thing? Watson just keeps teleporting to you. Oh, nice. Ooh, mutton chops. You know I love these. In a wire, long side burns. I know that quote. So they keep most of the stuff they had earlier. Alright, so the developers do notice. Ah, yes. Stand tall, Recrain. Oh, yes, the Navy officer uniform. Dashing as always. I really like Jeremy Brett's Sherlock Holmes design of like the overcoat and hat. Nice glasses. That didn't sound good. Oh, that was just a pencil. Now I'm gonna do the top hat. I like the original Sherlock design, casual detective. Yeah, I'll do the proper rain attire. Yep. The proper Sherlock Holmes outfit. Sorry, I'm just a massive Sherlock Holmes nerd. So we're just gonna go scavenging through the dustbin. Nice.
Don't look at me. If you want the newspaper, you'll have to get your hands dirty.
Ew, what is that
The
thing?
cactus spine. If it gets in your skin, it's awfully tricky to remove, and when laced with poison, the perfect assassination tool.
Thanks for that, Holmes.
You were mistaken, Dr. Watson. The paper was indeed dirtied, but not how you implied. It's potting soil. See, Watson? The conspiracy is real. Someone tried to poison me.
Poison? You? That's madness. Do you even have enemies that would want to kill you? Okay, perhaps from Cordona.
Get the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here.
How about that Vogel fellow? He seems rather obsessed with you. Would he do something like this?
Get the Strand. Get your
Why
copy
go
of
through
the
all this
Strand
scheming
here.
to murder you? A spine stuck to the newspaper is hardly legal.
Okay, alright, kid. Okay, kid, I'll take the shit.
Sorry, Mr. Holmes. I just sold my last paper.
Blast. Then why are you still here?
Boss pays by the hour. No sense in returning early.
You're a bright child. I presume you see everything that goes on around here?
Nothing gets past me, mister.
Then tell me, did you notice anyone suspicious at my door this morning?
Like the man with your newspaper?
Precisely. What do you know?
I know the value of a shilling.
Dr. Watson,
Cool, now I can take the day off.
did you see what he was up to?
Nah, not really. I saw him approaching your house, but I had a customer. Then there's a loud bang. I ducked down. Not because I was scared, because I wasn't. I had to protect the merchandise. And all I could see was him kneeling at your door.
Which way did he go?
Not sure. I was distracted by customers. Sorry.
Can you describe the man you saw?
He was carrying a lot of books. Up to his chin they were.
Never heard of a well-read assassin.
Looks can deceive. Hence the appeal of disguises. All right.
There
Have
are
your
well-read
shilling.
assassins.
That'll be all.
Thanks, Mr. Holmes. Maybe I could be your eyes and ears. If you have more shillings. Get the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here.
A ruined newspaper is hardly the end of the world. We can always buy another.
I'm tempted to do the mutton chops. I'm tempted to do the mutton chops anyway. I'm doing it. Perfect. Oh god, those look awful. Those aren't like the well-trimmed ones that I have. Oh crap. Nah, sticking with clean shaven. Mind Palace. Alright, that's gonna be a bit confusing to figure out. Oh, that actually makes sense.
Come now, Mr. Holmes. Murder? Yes, Barnes has his quirks, but he also has his scruples.
Not every pawn knows it's part of a game. Do you know anything about this?
I wish I could help you, but I don't know.
Just casually ask a crying lady, "Hey, lady, I know you're having a bad day, but do you know where this bookshop is?"
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
It's a shame, but I can't help you.
All right, yeah. Cool.
Do you know anything about this?
As much as I'd like to help you, I know nothing about this.
Man, how much do you want that? Where have I gone? Ooh, we have to actually use maps. Nice. Yep, there it is. Hello?
A ruined newspaper is hardly the end of the world. We can always buy another.
Nothing new. Mr. Barnes? Overwork. What is that? Ooh. Possibly. Wants to look taller. Yeah, that seems like the more sane one.
Mr. Barnes? A word.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
not.
for goodness sake.
Who goes there?
Sherlock Holmes. Now will you please...
Mr. Holmes. Golly, I did not see you come in.
Would you care to answer some questions for me?
Well, I wish I could, but I am deep in the weeds with work. How about we reschedule in a month or two?
I think I made the wrong
Mr.
deduction.
Barnes. It'll only take a moment.
Really deep in the weeds with important things. Well, help yourself to any book. Just take it and pay later. I trust you, Mr. Holmes.
Barnes doesn't seem like himself. Why is he acting this way?
You're asking the right questions, Doctor. Let's find a way to coax him out.
Barnes has always been a little odd, but this is uncharacteristic even for him.
Basics of cryptoanalysis. Cryptography in Egypt. It appears Barnes has an interesting hobby.
I've never been good at deduction that well. Well, at least the game doesn't just hand everything on to you on a silver platter. Okay, yeah, that's...
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
Guard dog, perhaps? Nah, that's not a guard. That's definitely not a guard dog.
The ladder is broken, recently, judging by the freshness of the wood.
I found where he got his limp.
I could hardly imagine anything more macabre. The finest view London has to offer.
Nothing, nothing. Macbeth. Never read that.
In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is. An improvised stand, but it does make the flowers more visible.
Alright, yeah. I made the wrong deductions. I've always been a more of a Watson type, thinking of the more sane deductions. But again, impossible, improbable, whatever Holmes said. Whatever. Eliminate the impossible, but no matter how improbable must be the answer, or something. I paraphrase that again. What's on the door? Okay, don't. No, no, no. I didn't say to leave.
Apologies, but I can't hear you. Please come back later.
Oh, why don't we just raid his crap? Watson?
We're looking for a cactus needle in a haystack. A spine in a book stack. No, come on, Watson, think.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
No. Man, I suck at this. Damn it. And I'm missing evidence. I am missing evidence. There's missing evidence. That's the only deduction. What's going on out here? Ah, so I did have to go outside.
Encouraging people to stop and smell the roses?
Our national emblem. God save the Queen.
It must take patience and care to produce a bloom so beautiful.
I imagine so. I merely sell them.
familiar spine. That's what I found in my dustbin. The pot is damaged. The blow was severe, but softened by something.
That's the key evidence.
Anything tickle your fancy, Mr. Holmes?
Observe this lady. Yeah, avoiding eye contact. LA Noir style. Guard dog? Oh, what? Alright, we'll go with the less than sane approach.
Mrs. Fleming, you look particularly lovely today. Is there a reason?
Does a woman need a reason to look or feel beautiful?
No, but your distant look suggests you seek one man's gaze in particular.
Who told you that?
Nobody. Merely a keen eye and some simple deduction.
Well, I'll kindly ask you to keep your keen eye to yourself, Mr. Holmes. Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller. I don't know anything about this, sorry.
Damn it.
What do you make of the flowers in Barnes' shop window?
Well, they could use a bit of water.
Do they mean anything to you?
Mean anything how? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Holmes.
Why do you think they're there?
Are you suggesting the flowers are for me?
It seems likely, does it not?
Oh, I hope you're right. I don't know anything about this, sorry.
Okay.
I don't know anything about this, sorry.
No, I got this.
One of these things is not like the other.
Well, that was obvious, actually.
Come again?
The cactus. Those fearsome spines can prove a devil to remove, and the sap is often toxic.
And a rose thorn can give you tetanus, but we still grow them. The cactus seems comparatively harmless, though you have me thinking it must be valuable.
I was under the impression that you knew its price already.
Your guess is as good as mine. The first time I saw this cactus was when I came back from my break.
Anything else?
Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller.
Are you familiar with Mr. Barnes?
Yes.
Huh?
No, not really. Well, in a way.
What on earth does that mean?
I know who he is, of course, but we haven't shared much more than a look.
A look?
Yes. Each morning I go for a walk in the park with my dog, and most days I spot Mr. Barnes there with his new puppy. So we see each other. Actually, we once met briefly while our dogs played. He was quiet and seemed unsteady as he approached.
Okay.
But since then, we've never spoken. I often see him staring through the shop window. Sometimes I wonder what he thinks about that would etch such longing onto his face.
Alright, so I just had to eliminate everything else.
I like bookshops. One of the few spots in London where you are shunned for making a racket.
Nice one, Watson.
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy? So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy?
Where did Barnes go? Let us deduce some things. Yes. Okay.
I think perhaps I have been chasing shadows.
Do not despair, Mr. Holmes. Even the best of us make mistakes. We better tell Mr. Barnes what we've learned.
Mr. Barnes, I know what you did, and I know why you did it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I can't hear you very well from behind the door.
You ordered a cactus from the plant catalogue and then left it for Mrs. Fleming as a gift. You place flowers in the window to get her attention and wear high heels to appear taller and more desirable. You are her secret admirer. I couldn't read this morning's edition of The Strand because it was covered in soil and spines. I know you dropped a cactus on it and then fled.
Barnes, it's Dr. Watson. Rest assured, we are not interested in disclosing your personal affairs to anyone, including Mrs. Fleming. Please come out.
All right, then.
So, you know what happened then? I was on my way back from the post office, having picked up the cactus and some books. It was quite an awkward package, heavy too, and when I got to your door, I dropped the cactus in your paper. Forgive me.
I needed that paper to prove a theory and prevent a crime. Your actions were rather disruptive. Your clumsiness carrying the post is matched only by the clumsiness of your romantic gesture.
Oh, it's true. I am useless with this sort of thing. I'm not even sure if Mrs. Fleming noticed.
I'm not gonna lie and say
I have neither the experience nor the interest in navigating the finer sex and their peculiarities. Do what you will.
Oh, right. Yes, of course.
So, at last, we return to the matter of the paper. I'm investigating a string of burglaries. Did you perhaps read of any before the edition was spoiled?
I don't recall, but you're welcome to read our copy for yourself.
You had an issue of The Strand here all along?
Well, naturally. I am a bookseller. I have a subscription to every magazine and newspaper in London.
So you ought to be familiar with the concept of burying the lead.
Oh no, my apologies, Mr. Holmes. I'll make it up to you however I can. I am an expert on obscure languages and translation and
Yes, okay. Just give me the paper.
locals at the Port of London had a rude awakening last night with loud bangs and a thick red smoke. So I was right in picking the sane options. I think he just got scared by Holmes's height. I think he was canonically 6'1", I'm not sure.
Come, Dr. Watson. Let us put this matter behind us.
Farewell, Mr. Barnes. I hope to hear good news about you and Mrs. Fleming.
let me know if there's any way I can make it up to you. Tell you what, tomorrow's edition of The Strand is on me.
I'm sure Barnes has had enough of our meddling, Mr. Holmes. We best be off.
Well, that was an utter waste of time.
An assassination did seem rather unlikely.
There was supposed to be another burglary. I was certain of it.
Nice one, Holmes.
Something you wish to say, Doctor?
No? Well, only that you have a remarkable faculty for deduction and pattern recognition. And that perhaps, if ill-applied...
I see things that are not there.
Yes. It is London. There will always be burglaries. Doesn't have to mean anything.
So it seems. Forgive me. Without something to occupy my mind, I turn into an entirely different animal.
Which brings us back to my news from earlier. I think I have a case for you, a real one. Truly.
Could you do
Indeed.
filter?
Though perhaps not as thrilling as your stories.
There's
from
nothing
the
in
donor.
this.
A patient of mine, Captain Stenwick, told me that his servant disappeared. I said I knew just the man to help. What do you say?
Oh, Watson.
Yes, I know it's not the most tantalizing mystery, nor the story to launch my writing career. But...
It's brilliant. Let's go.
Oh, good. Well, his house is nearby. Come.
I think this is around when Sherlock Holmes and Watsons were younger, so this probably makes sense.
Not much further now.
Here he is. Oh, he has the same exact
Is
look
this
as me.
lousy attitude of yours because of my altercation with Inspector Lockhart? Did he put you up to this?
Sir, the inspector has nothing to do with it. I'm telling you the same thing I tell anyone seeking a missing person.
Good day, gentlemen. Forgive the intrusion. Captain Stenwick, this is my colleague Sherlock Holmes, the consulting detective I told you about.
At last, a professional. This useless officer refuses to do anything about Kimmy here, my missing servant. What was your name again? I shall be certain to inform your superiors.
Sergeant Ruffles. And it's my superiors who made this decision, sir.
Why has the police department decided not to help?
We investigate murders, thefts, fraud, arson, real crimes. A servant walking away from his master is not our highest priority. That said, if we
Understandable.
find him here breaking the law, we'll be sure to notify Captain Stenwick.
Have there been other disappearances lately?
Of course, here and there. But when life is tough and opportunity comes knocking, you can't blame those who answer. Now, I must be off. Best of luck in your search.
You heard that, didn't you? The way that man spoke to me. I shall need your written testimony, then we can lodge a complaint.
Captain, perhaps Mr. Holmes' time is better spent learning about your servant, so that he may begin his investigation.
Well spoken,
Yes.
Watson.
Quite right. Fire away.
Tell me about Kimmy here.
He's foreign. A Maori. All the way from New Zealand. Biggest man you've ever seen, and as strong as two. Dark hair and fearsome tattoos. He doesn't speak
Servant
a
can
wit of
break
English.
even half.
Never bothered to learn. But I made do with pointing. I invested a lot of money in him, so he must be
A lot
found.
of money in him.
When did you last see your servant?
Kimmy here normally brings me the morning papers, but yesterday I had to get them myself. He must have escaped the night before yesterday.
And we know he escaped.
May I see your servant's bedroom?
His shack is in the garden. You can't miss it.
Did you search the room?
Of course, but only to check he wasn't lying dead inside. Everything seemed normal at a glance.
Is there any reason Kimmy here may have left?
I should think not. He had all he could have wanted. Gainful employment, new clothes, and all the cabbage he could eat.
Cabbage?
I take it this is the first time Kimmy here has vanished?
Undoubtedly. The man seemed terrified of the city. I think it was all the noise. He never left this estate. Should he cause any damage, I will bear the responsibility, for it was I who rescued him from savagery and brought him here to England in the first place.
Did Kimmy here make off with anything of value?
Heavens, no. I would have mentioned it to Sergeant Ruffles.
Still, he must have fled with some money on his person.
No. I kept his wages in my safe.
For security.
All right, Captain. I think I have enough to get started. We shall first take a look around the mansion.
Go ahead. I'll be here, mentally drafting my complaint.
Anything of note here? Nope.
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone.
Sorry, Watson. Ooh, what's here?
Chewing tobacco. A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots.
What is that? Alright, I'm gonna assume that's something I'm gonna have to come back to later. This must be the shack. Again, I remember this. I remember this plot from the first game. Oh wait, actually is that a lock?
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right. A scrap of Hessian.
Hessian? No, busted
These
up
were
box.
sturdy boxes. It would have required a
Well, he was a
serious
big
blow
man.
to break them.
What's that there? What the crap? Is that a face?
Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here.
That's okay. That's a great mental image.
A small navy spyglass.
Navy spyglass.
A Maori nose flute. Ngurus, they're called. Clothes made of Hessian. Is Sten really so miserly?
Ew.
Mutton chops. The remains of a meal.
Mutton chops. Real mutton chops. Literal mutton chops. What is this?
A heavy chemical odor. Lend me your nose, Doctor.
Ah, I'll never forget that smell after my time in Afghanistan. That's an opioid, Mr. Holmes, a narcotic.
The ashes are long since cold.
Ah, yes. The undercut. Is that it? My dog is making noise again.
No air coming through it. No air coming through it. have left these tracks. They seem fresh.
Ooh.
Looks like a knee print. Someone knelt here. The amount of chewing tobacco suggests they were waiting a while.
Amazing, Mr. Holmes. To read the ground like an open book.
Something back there.
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be
Right, I
bent
gotta
to the
piece
right.
together the things. I gotta probably talk with that guy again. Sorry, Watson. Good. Get my dog, please.
Where on earth are you going with this?
The door to your garden has an interesting lock.
Yes, I have uncommon locks on every door of my mansion. It makes them harder to pick. Kimmy here and I both had a set of keys.
I'll need to borrow them.
No, you'll need to do what I tell you to do. Examine the garden.
Do you happen to know Kimahir's shoe size?
I wouldn't have the foggiest, but I'm sure it was enormous. Not that it matters. He spent his life barefoot. Despite my best efforts, he simply did not take to shoes.
I came across a pile of Hessian clothes in the shack. Are they Kimahir's?
Yes, I had to give him something to clothe himself. He seemed unfazed by his bare skin, but I found it distracting.
Is this spyglass familiar?
I don't recognize it.
Could it be Kimahir's, perhaps?
I doubt it. I never saw him with it, nor could I suggest how he might have come by it. Are you joking? Why would I know this? Where on earth are you going with this?
Has Kimahir ever indulged in tobacco?
No, the man doesn't even drink.
Are you certain? I found chewing tobacco in the garden.
I controlled Kimihir's expenses since he struggled with the currency. I would have known if he used tobacco.
Great. Alright, so we have more clues. Nah, it makes more sense for big guy to break it.
No air coming through it.
Oh, yeah.
Is this a tanning farm, a Maori water split, or something else?
Either way, it's giving me chills.
What is that? What else should I talk to him about?
rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney. No air coming through it.
Okay. Seems good. What else? I examine the garden. What do you want me to say now? So I'm
Why
being
are you
very...
still here?
I'll have to go the whole way around. Apparently not. Where's the other way around? Never freaking mind.
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right. No air coming through it. Clothes made of Hessian. Is Sten really so miserly?
What am I doing wrong? You know, he had the spyglass. Likely. Restricted the airflow.
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
Never mind. me if there's evidence I'm missing. What am I missing?
No air coming through it. No air coming through it. No air coming through it.
Do you think Kimmy here had an accomplice in his escape?
Oh, I might have to pin something. I'm still not used to this. Yeah, that makes sense.
Someone moved a cart to this spot and then took it elsewhere. Can't see it anywhere in the garden.
Likely. Not likely. Not likely. Likely. Alright, pin evidence.
Yes, Denwick is no angel, but he's one of my friends. Try to yes.
There we go. I just had to pin evidence. Alright, I'll remember to do that. Pin evidence.
This lock is quite unusual.
I didn't want to
It appears
observe it.
that the key should be bent to the right.
That makes sense.
Surveilling from afar, the intruder waited for a window of opportunity. When Kimahir went to sleep, the man crept up to the shack and slipped narcotics down the chimney pipe, then blocked it with a cloth. Kimahir inhaled the sedative and fell into a deep sleep. The intruder tried to move him, but the man was heavier than expected. The intruder fell on the sack and dropped his spyglass. In order to transport the servant, he had to use the cart. The final challenge was opening the garden door. Luckily for our intruder, Kimahir had the key in his shack.
Remarkable. It makes total sense. Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone.
Indeed, Watson, indeed. This episode's gonna go on for a while.
You'd best have found something by now, gentlemen.
I fear that someone may have spied upon Kimahir, likely the owner of the spyglass I found earlier. It appears they were watching for some time, as there was an impressive amount of chewing tobacco on the ground.
And your point?
I found the residue of narcotics in Kimahir's brazier. There are several explanations, perhaps your servant's recreational interest, or an attempt at poisoning.
Cut to the chase, Mr. Holmes.
You said that you checked the shack earlier. Did you notice the cart tracks near it? Now, one ought to expect a servant to make regular use of such a thing. Indeed, I would have overlooked the detail were it not for the cart's absence. If, as you say, Kimahir never leaves your estate, then where did it go?
I expect answers from you, Mr. Holmes, not questions.
I won't keep you in suspense any longer, Captain. Kimahir was abducted by the owner of the spyglass. When your servant fell asleep, he slipped a narcotic into Kimahir's brazier to make him sleep even more soundly. In order to carry a man as large as Kimahir, the intruder stole the cart and rolled him right out of your garden.
Now, hold on. All this simply to tell me what I already know. Why haven't you found him yet?
I only arrived a moment ago. It is, frankly, incredible that I have already deduced so much.
You're a jerk, sir.
Every second you dawdle here, waiting for me to stroke your ego, is another second wasted.
That's
I'm not
fair enough,
interested
Mr.
in the
Holmes.
how, the why, or the who. I am only interested in recovering my investment. Spare me the claptrap, boy, and go and fetch my servant.
Be a polite gentleman, Mr. Holmes.
The point is, Captain, we're telling you this for a reason. The intruder fled through the garden door, and we need a key to follow his trail.
Well, then you should have led with that.
That makes
Here you go.
as much of a
I
jackass
hope you'll
as this
return
guy is.
soon with good
He's
news.
right about
And in the
Holmes
meantime,
not getting to the
please
chase.
teach your companion the art of brevity.
That is like the one thing I agree with this guy. Just Holmes, get to the point. Well, for me, I like the theatrical side of it, but some people just want him to get to the point and do not appreciate his theatrics. Open the door. Ooh, I should pin those cart tracks. Oh, wait. No, deductions. Oh, I got hiccups. Broken wheel. More tracks. A dog.
What does it say? What does it say?
Hi, Watson.
What does it say?
I don't know what it says, Holmes.
Yes, Denwick is no angel, but he's one of my few clients. Please, try to remain courteous.
Sturdy rope, professionally tied in a Portuguese bowline. This knot is often used by sailors to create a bosun's chair. Roy Soulsby. Could that be the name of our man?
Anything else? Nope.
A strange substance. I have my suspicions based on the color and consistency, but would you care to hazard a guess, Doctor?
Well, it's odorless, but from the way it absorbs water, I'd say saltpeter.
Then we're in agreement. Well done.
What else? What can I see?
Wheels picked up grass along the way. Kimahir's cart, I gather. A large pile of horse droppings. Many cigarette butts. Someone stood here for hours. There was a cab waiting here. Our abductor slipped in and then off into the night.
Oh, and conveniently that giant cart blocking the area is gone. Hold on, we got to talk to Angry Guy about it.
If you find my man, I have a marvelous whiskey with your name on it.
Great payment, man. Yeah, I want whiskey. Alright, hold on. Let me go into my little mine area. Nope. Deductions. Nope. Dang it. Okay, alright. I just have to deduce all of this. Nothing to do with it. Oh, that's actually... Come on! Nope. Nope. Might as well just exhaust all the options. Alright, so I don't have enough evidence. Oh, I should have figured this out earlier. Sailor's not... Perfect. That was probably the... That was... See, when I always compare myself to a Sherlock Holmes characters, I always think Watson or Lestrade. Basically anybody that isn't Holmes. I gotta sit on my nose. Right. Alright, so we gotta find that cab. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause this for a second, and then I'm going to make a second video. So I'm gonna make a second video. So yeah, I'll be back. I will see you all later. Goodbye.